Alright, it's time to get on that horse. Get back on that horse, nice and steady, nice and easy. I'm going to get back to this. This is something I've been putting off for ages. I'm going to get back into reviewing vintage Masters of the Universe figures. Now, yeah, it's been a long time since I've done this, so I decided I just want to start off nice and easy, nice and simple. And when I thought about that, I thought about, what is nice and easy, nice and simple to review in Masters of the Universe as far as characters go. And take it for, I don't really know why, but Fisto, maybe we could find out why through the course of this video, why I find Fisto to be such a simple character to tackle in review form. I won't lie, I'm going to be honest about this right now, brutally honest. Fisto's not really one of my favorites. There's no real reason that I can really nail down. He's a little bit on the plain side, I find. It's weird. It's one of those. Fisto's an oddity in that I loved him. I liked him a lot when I was a kid. I was thrilled when I first walked into, what was it? Woolworths. I was with my mom. We went to a store called Woolworths. And I believe it was Woolworths. And downstairs where the toys were, fabulous, as I remember as a kid, fabulous toy section. I was thrilled. Right out of the blue, never saw any commercials for them whatsoever. 3 brand new Masters of the Universe figures that I saw for the very first time. My mind was blown. I was so excited. So excited. There was Fisto here, there was Jitsu, and Web Store. So I remember seeing all 3 of those figures all at the same time, and my little mind was blown, as it always was when I walked into a store and found a new Masters of the Universe figure. Let's talk about Fisto here, before this gets a little too long. He's got your standard twist waist, but he also, this was a new thing for Masters of the Universe. This was brand new. The idea of we always had spring action waist, but this spring action shoulder, that's crazy. Spring action, punching action, spring punching action. Like that is awesome. And I'm really happy that I was able to get this mint on card sample so I can open it and have it, minty fresh. One thing I'll admit about this sample of Fisto though, I opened it out of the package, and this is the very first time, thankfully, it's the first and only time this has happened to me, knock on wood, that the elastic band holding the 2 legs together inside the waist, it's a little bit on the loose side. Just a tiny little bit, But luckily he still stands well. Usually. Thankfully he has a good center of balance. What else can I say about Fisto? He's pretty self-explanatory. And like I was saying at the very beginning of this video, I find that he's one that I liked a lot more when I was a kid, and I don't really know why, but it's interesting, because usually I find with toys, I'm finding that there are a lot of toys that I didn't fully appreciate as a kid that I really love now. So it's Fisto's a little bit odd like that, I guess. Now, Fisto came with a remolding of Triclops' sword. This time, interesting. This time, I remember Triclops' sword. I do not own a vintage Triclops, but I distinctly remember it had two, at least one, or possibly two little divot holes. Little holes that were, I guess that they were in the original sword's mold, but they're not present here. So it shows that this is Triclops' sword. It's the exact same sword, but it shows that the mold was kind of retooled a little bit, and you lost those little mold holes, whatever they were. And that's it. Let's get him to hold his sword here. Oh, this was another new thing, actually, while I'm on it. With Fisto... Fisto and Jitsu, they debuted this new arm. This arm was completely new sculpt as well. A lot bigger shoulder to match the bigger shoulder on his power punching arm. And the biggest thing about this arm is that instead of the opened, the standard wide open hand, you had a clasped hand or a hand that could hold accessories. And he holds it really well, which is good. I don't know how many of you out there know this or remember this, or remember that there were a lot of Masters of the Universe. As much as we love the Masters of the Universe line, and how cherished it is, and it's all classic. Everything is great. You got to admit that there were a lot of hands that were meant to hold weapons, but there were quite a few that couldn't actually hold their hands for whatever reason. Hold their weapons, that is, for whatever reason. One more thing I want to say about Fisto before I move on to the mini comic and the packaging is something I noticed about Fisto now as an adult is that this figure is a little bit of a difference in the usual production of figures in the vintage line, is that a lot of figures, most figures, the facial features like eyes and eyebrows and everything like that, it was all clearly done by machine, or however they did paint masking back then. But Fisto, if you look at his face very closely, look at his eyes, and look at his eyebrows, and look at even the little bit of flesh paint that's under the mustache, you can tell that they're hand-painted. Now, that's a little bit different. That's something that I never really noticed as a kid. I never really stopped and noticed it. But, that's something that when we grow into adulthood, we're really picking this all apart and really, dissecting every little detail. And that's something that I've noticed. That's a little bit, it's unique, I think, to Fisto. Off the top of my head, I cannot remember one other vintage figure that had a face that was clearly hand-painted. So, aside from all this, as you can see, I'm backing up. I'm constantly backing up because I want some room for this. We need some room to talk about packaging here. So, let's go right up. Let's take a look at Fisto's packaging. It's great. So what I decided to do, I'm going to take Fisto out of the shot because I don't want him to fall over. I don't want him to fall back and, heaven forbid, fall off the table. Okay, Fisto's packaging. Heroic hand-to-hand fighter. Alright, nice captions here. Twist his waist. Make his big fist throw punches. Oh boy, big fist. Oh boy. This leads me to another topic. Shoot. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that topic. But keep this in mind. Big fist. And notice something. Notice how the whole sentence... okay, now I'm deciding wrong. But notice how big fist is capitalized. There's something to that. If any of you are curious, we could chat about it in the comments section. It's a little bit of a can of worms that I wasn't thinking about that I always wanted to bring up when I ever got around to reviewing Vintage Fisto. But it's kind of something that I've forgotten all the details of now. But anyway, alright. Back of the card art. It's nice. Very, very nice. Clearly to me, it's Earl McCarthy's artwork once again. Beautiful artwork. I really love the detail in his fist, his armored fist. It's just simple black shading that's done to the bottom half of it, but it just, well, it goes to show the talent of the artist. Just the simplest little details can really make it look really, really cool. Bottom here, bottom side, right by my thumb that's moving, you've got his features. So first of all, you've got twist, his wrist turns. That was a big deal too, actually. Now that I think about it, the whole idea of not only did Fisto have a spring action power punch, damn, he also had an extra point of articulation at his forearm. His actual, for the very first time, he actually had one more point of articulation as well. So that's pretty interesting. Alright, secondly, make his big fist throw hooks, uppercuts, straight punches. Oh man. Reading that out loud, it's just, it's all kinds of cool. It's all kinds of magic. Oh, I could get goosebumps. You know, I'm almost getting goosebumps. Just magical stuff. This stuff has, yeah, what can I say? Anyway, little proof of purchase, dotted there, dotted line around it. Interesting. Yeah, co-sell art. Anyway, so that's it. Oh, lastly, shoot. Okay, mini comic, Clash of Arms. I noticed on He-Man.org that there were samples of Fisto that came with this mini comic, Clash of Arms, and there were also samples that came with the mini comic called Masks of Power. So I happened to get the Clash of Arms mini comic, which is cool. Jitsu appearance, you know, that makes it cool right off the bat. Actually, this, oh man, you got early Clawful. Look at that. It's got some early looking Clawful. Oh yeah, you got Whiplash. Interesting. I wonder if this, anyway. Actually, I've covered this mini comic in another vintage review in the past. Anyway, it's a good mini comic, very good mini comic. So that's it. That is my review of Vintage Fisto. So, okay. Hope you all enjoyed it. And take care of yourselves, guys. Have a really awesome 2015, everybody. And we'll talk again in the very near future. Bye for now.